What's up, guys? I'm Chris Spags here, back with another Four Corners for today's 6-game NBA main slate, courtesy of Osmo.com and presented by SuperDraft. We've got ourselves 6 games today, and they look pretty appealing overall, but there are still some questionable things we're waiting on, so let's get that power of positivity back in the air, and right now, please hit that like button if you want to win a free month of Osmo Plus courtesy of SuperDraft. Like this video and comment your top value play down below. In yesterday's video, somebody got Trevor Ariza right, so I'll announce that winner of the random drawing later on. But right now, if you want to join that person at the pay window, like this video and comment your top value play down below. But you guys know the score. We've got no time to waste here in the Four Corners, so let's get right into our first corner of the top owned plays, starting with Steven Adams in a game at Brooklyn. There's 109 implied points for Oklahoma City. Adams has 34% expected ownership on Draftkings, while he has 26% on FanDuel. Adams is over 15 boards and 41 fantasy points in his last 2 games, and he'll see more consistent minutes with Nerlens Noel rolled out again in a very winnable matchup inside against Brooklyn. Another top owned play today looks like Sekou Doumbouya in a game at Cleveland, where there's 110.3 implied points for Detroit. Sekou's got 29% expected ownership on Draftkings, while he has 17% on FanDuel. Sekou has shown a 40 fantasy point ceiling and a 19.25 fantasy point floor since starting for Blake Griffin. He seems like a more appealing play as chalk if Christian Wood isn't starting alongside him against Cleveland's big front court. And our last of the top owned plays is Kyle Lowry in a game versus Portland, where there's 111 implied points for Toronto. Lowry has 24% expected ownership on Draftkings, while he has 34% on FanDuel. Fred VanVleet is out, and Lowry averages 1.4 fantasy points per minute in court time without VanVleet, Pascal Siakam, and Marc Gasol, with a winnable matchup against Portland's 109 defensive rating. And now for our next corner, let's hit on some of the top value plays, starting with Harry Giles in a game at Phoenix. There's 110 implied points for Sacramento. Rashawn Holmes is questionable after a shoulder injury knocked him out last night, and Sacramento likely needs Giles to pick up some additional minutes against Phoenix's massive Ayton Baines front court. Another top value looks like Christian Wood in that game at Cleveland, where there's 110.3 implied points for Detroit. Wood started last game against the Lakers' big front court, and it's possible he picks up a start again with a better match for him here against Cleveland, particularly at his lower FanDuel price. And another top value today looks like Garrett Temple in a game versus Oklahoma City, where there's 107 implied points for Brooklyn. Temple's Draftkings price in particular seems low, though he, Taurean Prince, and Joe Harris all cut into each other's upside, particularly in a pace-down spot against a decent Oklahoma City defense. And now for our next corner, here are some of the other top plays that I'm looking at today, starting with Andrew Wiggins in a game at Memphis, where there's 112.8 implied points for Minnesota. Wiggins would feel more secure if Karl-Anthony Towns continues to miss, but he returned to the lineup with 31 minutes and 19 shot attempts on 30% usage, and now Wiggins is in a pace-up against Memphis's weak 110 defensive rating. A priced-up core play for me today is Devin Booker in that game versus Sacramento, where there's 116 implied points for Phoenix. Booker's price is up to a tough level, but he's up to over 31% usage in his last 6 games, and he's been over 44.5 fantasy points in all of them, while hitting over 51 fantasy points in 4 out of those 6. And another core play if CJ McCollum is out is Damian Lillard in a game at Toronto, where there's 109 implied points for Portland. Lillard had 62.25 fantasy points in the last game without CJ McCollum against Miami, and if McCollum stays out, he'd likely maintain massive usage and assist upside against a depleted Toronto defense in a competitive game. And now for our last corner, here are some of the lower owned dart throws that I'm looking at today, starting with Nemanja Bjelica in that game at Phoenix, where there's 110 implied points for Sacramento. Bjelica and Trevor Ariza would stand to pick up additional minutes at the 5 if Rashawn Holmes misses with his shoulder injury, in a match where Bjelica could stretch the floor against Phoenix's bigs. And on the other side, I like Aaron Baines as a lower owned dart throw against Sacramento in a game where there's 116 implied points for Phoenix. Baines has seen upwards of 29 minutes with a good chunk alongside DeAndre Ayton, and the matchup would be a lot weaker inside if we know Rashawn Holmes is unavailable. And our last of the dart throws is Dillon Brooks in that game versus Minnesota, where there's 115.8 implied points for Memphis. Brooks has at least 15 shots in his last 3 games, including over 10 3-point attempts in 2 out of them, and the game should see more scoring with wing defense that gets worse with Andrew Wiggins in the lineup. So that's what it looks like so far for tonight's slate. So right now, please hit that like button if you want a chance to win a free month of Osmo Plus. Like this video and comment your top value play according to Draftkings salaries down below. In yesterday's video, 2 people guessed Trevor Ariza correctly as a top value play, but only 1 can win. So the winner is this person right here, Sherry Rose. So Sherry, email me at chris@osmo.com to collect your prize right now. And as always, those free months of Osmo Plus come courtesy of SuperDraft. So right now, check out the future of DFS at superdraft.io. If you go there and use the promo code OSMO, you can get yourself $20 free with a deposit of $100 or more. So go right now to superdraft.io and check out their new multiplier tournaments where you don't even have to know salaries, just pick your guys and go over at superdraft.io. And we have just a few more days left of our New Year's deal where you can use this promo code 2020 to get 20 days of Osmo Plus for just $20. So go right now to osmo.com/join and take advantage of that promo code 2020 for 20 days for $20. Go follow me on Twitter and Instagram at Chris Spags. I'm covering the NFL and NBA, and I'm talking some XFL this morning, so check out what I'm doing right now on Twitter and Instagram at Chris Spags. Tonight on Live Before Lock, you've got Fast Eddie Fear and Chris Randone, a man who's been the heart of some controversies in the industry, so tune in later later today. And of course, I'll be back with you guys tomorrow for another Four Corners. So thank you guys for watching. Hope you have a great night. And as always, good luck.